I'm going to hit the button. There's the button.
Hey. Dude, I love those drying herbs.
I know. I was going to bring it up. I was like,
that's
so dope.
Ask him about it. It's dope.
I'll ask him. That's my first question.
Yeah. First question. Talk about tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, welcome back to Okayest Cook podcast. I'm your host, Chris Whonsetler, here with Andy. I found him on the street.
In the flesh. I was here.
Back in town.
In town.
Straight out of Texas.
Yes, sir.
Didn't bring me any barbecue, so I'm a little sour.
Well, I didn't know I was going to see you until 4 hours ago.
Got last minute. I was like, hey, we're talking to Tinker. You want to come?
I was like, I just had a cancellation. I'll be there.
Yes.
So here I am.
Well, spoiler alert, we're here with Jourdan Tyler of Tinker. Tell us your roles.
Yeah,
what
what's
do
up,
you guys
guys?
do here?
Absolutely. I'm Jourdan Ivory. I'm the restaurant operations manager here at Tinker Street, which means that I do a little bit of everything but cook.
Yeah. And my name is Tyler Shortt, and I am the executive chef here at Tinker Street. So I do a little bit of everything, but
So you do what he doesn't want to
primarily
do.
he doesn't
want to do.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good work relationship for sure.
It's good yin and
Yes.
yang. It's good to have
Absolutely.
offsetting
Yeah.
skills.
Yes. Well, we've crossed paths a couple times here of late. Most notably was MOKAO, and that was a little bit ago.
Absolutely. Yeah.
More about how the sausage is made. We are filming this quite a bit before it's actually going to air. So MOKAO was even further in the distance.
Yeah,
Sure.
But we crossed paths there. We crossed paths at the Peony Festival multiple years now.
Yeah.
So at least with Tyler.
A couple of years
Yeah.
now, yeah.
I mean, brother, you're everywhere.
You guys are everywhere.
No,
It's serious.
listen, I got done with breakfast with my wife just the other day, okay, and I'm walking down past Stutz, and I was like, oh my gosh, those florals, that setup, who's taking pictures? Sure enough, walk
Chris
around the
Whonsetler.
corner, it's Chris. I was just like, hey, not to interrupt, good to see you, brother, can't wait, to connect again. But really, I think Tyler and I are true fans of the work that we created together. Thank you for turning me into a hand model at MOKAO.
I was a little jealous.
Yeah.
You were a little busy.
Yeah.
But the way you captured everyone's dishes were
I appreciate that.
outstanding. You capturing as well in the nonverbals the rhetoric that was happening in the back of house too was absolutely spectacular.
Dude, I love that. I love the behind the scenes. And
Yeah.
just how the sausage is
Chris
made.
is really good at
That's
things.
exciting.
He never gives himself credit for it, but he's really, really good at things. Actually, I talked to a client today, and I was like, well, do you need me to reach out to Chris? He's like, no, I've already been talking to him about it. I'm like, all right, cool, well, let me know.
This podcast is not about me. Let's get back to food.
His favorite topic himself.
Yeah. I'm cringing over here. But I appreciate it. Thank you guys. So,
Yeah. But MOKAO was incredible.
yes, it was gorgeous. Yeah.
It was.
At MOKAO, I was able to be the MC for the evening and kind of share a little bit about each and every person that was a part of the event, which was cool.
So cool.
A lot of times I just get to introduce Tyler and the team. And so,
Sick of talking to Tyler.
and I'm definitely Tyler's biggest fan. Don't tell Aisha, our pastry chef. But I think that for me, it's really cool to see our dishes alongside other chefs' dishes, as well as seeing the way that they do hospitality was really, really neat to see in person. And I mean, Tyler was killing it in the back of house, and watching him throw hands, I think, with the other chefs was really dope.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We've talked to a few of the chefs, and it's all just like you all say. It's all just you're all family. Like you're at different restaurants. Like your goals are somewhat different, but at events like that, like you're all one.
Yeah.
And like you're pitching in on their dishes, and they're pitching in on your dishes. And
Yeah.
it's such a rad thing to experience.
Well, and it's also it's a lot of fun too, because we are all so busy, and so
Yeah.
we would love to spend more time with each other or hang out with each other, but we're just all so busy. So seeing each other and collaborating and working together, it's completely different than just working on the line with your team and things like that.
And for
So-
people who maybe don't know what MOKAO is, can we get a quick, what was that?
Yeah,
Tell me what that was.
MOKAO. We did
was-
episode with Ariel and Yusuf.
I
It's
knew.
basically their brainchild.
This is the callback.
Yes, the callback. Look, I forget the episode number, but we'll link it down below.
Yeah.
But yeah, they wanted to celebrate coffee and chocolate.
Right.
Just I think just Africa in general.
Yeah,
So a lot of
African
cool
coffee,
art. Just basically, all your dishes had to have coffee in it and chocolate,
And chocolate.
coffee or
Yeah.
chocolate, both.
I think it was one or the other, but I think most of the chefs we just
Did
did
both.
both.
Yeah, it was wild, like super crazy. But
So good,
you,
so good. You
not
have to
to-
share some of the pictures that you took
we'll
as
pull
well.
up some of the photos.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Tyler's dish. Do you want to
Yeah.
explain
Yeah, what
what's
did
going
you
on in
make?
this pic?
Yeah, so I did a Ethiopian beet salad, and so I really wanted to focus on African cuisine. So Ethiopian salad, which was beets, potatoes, and then I did a coffee agrodolce, and then I did a chocolate tuile with a little bit of cayenne on there, and then I did some pickled Fresnos, things like that. So it had some heat in there, some seasoning, some spices. It was really nice.
That's awesome.
Dude, the pickled veg, like,
Yeah.
I love that. Like, I got to pick. I
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
pick
yeah.
some of the dishes I shot. So that's fun.
Excellent.
It
Yeah.
was super good. But yeah, such
Super cool.
a vibrant dish.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andy. I don't think we have the photo right here for you.
That's okay.
You gotta see it, though. It's
pretty.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
The way that Tyler rattles off ingredients, though, like the way that MOKAO was, a little bit ago, right, and a little bit from this, but also just the way that Tyler remembers menu items is incredible.
Just locked up there.
Incredible. So Tyler and I have worked together now for the last year and a half. I've been here at Tinker. Tyler's been with Tinker Street since 2016.
Jeez.
Yes.
So long tenure here, and a pathway to executive chef, but he can call back to our previous executive chefs' menus and items. He can see a picture of patrons at the table in the background, and he'll say, "Oh, that was that dinner. They're eating that
Yeah.
dish," right?
Yes.
So a little bit of a savant in that way, I'd
Yeah.
say.
That's awesome.
I don't know how I remember it, but I guess it always comes back. So.
You're just good at what you do. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to chat about MOKAO? I mean, you've done like 100 events between now, MOKAO and now.
Yeah, we've
So,
been
like-
busy, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I think just MOKAO, it was also, the food was so different too.
Yeah.
And just the varieties and the creativity from all the chefs involved at MOKAO, it was really special and beautiful to see.
Yeah.
So,
Well, definitely talking to some of the chefs so far, it's like, how do you incorporate coffee? Like, it's such a strong, bold flavor. How do you incorporate chocolate?
Right.
Which is such a bold, strong flavor without like wrecking the rest of the menu was a challenging thing to think about, I imagine.
Truly.
yeah, it definitely was. Especially, I know, like, Alan Sternberg from Bluebeard, he
One of our favorites.
he did a hamachi dish or a crudo dish with a raw fish, and it was like, that was to me, it was a little too delicate, like for coffee and everything, but he pulled it off and it was really great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
Well, it was
It's very
explained to me,
difficult,
and I
but it's
photographed
great.
it. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
But then it was explained to me, I was like, oh, there's fish on top of white chocolate.
yeah, yeah.
It was a little odd to think about, but like you said, it worked.
And he told me
Like, it was
how he
cool.
made it and everything, which it sounded like a new technique, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, this is awesome!" Yeah, like it was really cool and
Yes.
special to see. Just talking back and forth like that, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
I think that's the core of our collaboration, and like why we collaborate and partner with so many chefs and entities in the city is the ability to learn from each other, right?
Yeah.
And I think that something I would say is my Indiana hot take is that sometimes the Hoosier hospitality comes with the head down mentality as well, where we're all kind of focused in our own lane, right? And I think that when we get to collaborate and see how others are doing things, it helps push the scene so much further.
Yeah.
And so I think with MOKAO especially, it was coffee and chocolate, but it was a bunch of community as well too. And I mean, so many great things
much,
have
yeah.
come out of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, seeing new techniques, but also bringing a full-fledged dinner to life in the car museum at Stutz.
Yes.
Very cool.
I mean, there was a lot of challenges there that you all just you saw but powered through. So
Yeah.
shout out to
No
you
flinches.
all too.
Yeah.
And Christian too,
We
you had
saw.
a nice little setup back there too, brother.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we brought
yeah.
the kit, so super cool. Yes. You're remind me where in the lineup was your dish? It was kind of central.
I think it was the second course.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
was kind of, I think it was a 5-course dinner,
5
right?
course, yeah, 5,
Okay. So yeah, I was second to go. So
Okay.
I was originally supposed to be first, but then beets and the fish, like Alan and I swapped.
Okay.
Because my dish was a little heavier than his.
Yeah.
So, but I couldn't tell you the other how it went. I think it was Colin Hilton and then Aaron Kim and then Pete.
The pasta, the venison, and
Yeah.
then the dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
how
that
it
was
went.
phenomenal.
I'm seeing all the
yeah.
pictures, but I couldn't.
I know,
I'm not,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not Tyler. I can't tell you what was in.
I'm trying to remember, yeah.
No, it was great.
So, yeah, it was amazing.
I would say my first event with Tyler was taking it to the streets, where we had collaborated with 9th Street Bistro from Noblesville with Chef Samir and Rachel.
Love them.
One of the most notable things from Okayest Cook, I watched the show.
Okay, all right.
When Chris was like, if anybody can get me in touch with Rachel of 9th Street Bistro, on that day, I literally like captured that sound and sent it to her via text and was like, Rachel, this man's looking for you, okay? Rachel's my hero.
Yeah.
And I think that, through those collaborations and through watching how they do their thing, it's just like, we have a lot of people to look up to. It's absolutely astounding when you get to go somewhere and just absolutely enjoy and dig in. And it's a similar experience to what in my mind, we provide to guests, right? And so being on the other side of that was absolutely amazing. And I was just a host here at Tinker Street at that time and was like in awe of Tyler and what he was able to do with bringing in so many people. But that's when I first met Chef Yusuf. That's when I met Ariel for the first time. Ben, who cooks for the Colts. Lots of people in the community I met surrounding this collaboration. And I mean, and since we've done Taking It to the Streets, you've taken us to the farm now with the 9th Street team. But, the real concept behind these collaborations is pushing the scene forward. And 100%. I mean, a lot of times we don't say this out loud, Tyler, but we're doing a pretty good freaking job, man.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
I'd say so. Like just as an third party looking in, like you guys are crushing it.
Well, I feel like you guys are in a market, unfortunately, that doesn't get a whole lot of like immediate culinary respect either. And there is such good. Yeah, I feel like the Midwest, especially Indiana, is plagued with this chain restaurant problem of all these new communities, cities that are known like Noblesville, Fishers, Carmel, that are growing and adding in all these new places for businesses to go in, and you get yourself another chain, and it's a little bit unfortunate because there are some really awesome. Not only just I want to say restaurants, but just like the experiences that the indie culinary scene has to offer is just it's so much better than what I think gets seen by a lot of people.
For sure.
And because it requires you to maybe have to look for them a little more here, because they're just a little bit less prevalent than you would see in a more like if you were going to go into Chicago, New York, and those bigger cities and things like that. But I mean, man, like don't sleep on Indiana's food. Like there's some really awesome stuff, and we're talking a lot about local today, and how important that is to Tinker Street and like what you guys are doing with that, but also. There's a lot of restaurants, even if that's not their thing, like try to find something that's got a little bit more of a unique thing to hear. Like there's, Indy gets Crossroads of America, man, a lot of things come through here. So there's a lot of unique things that could be built here too. So I just think there's so much to come still in the culinary scene in Indianapolis, in the greater Indiana area. So, and it doesn't come without, places like this and things that you guys 100%. Are doing. So it's really cool.
Sure,
so I do think it is coming a long way. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I would say that, I mean, to Jordan's point of keeping our heads down and things like that with Who's Your Hospitality, I think we hadn't really seen much collaboration in the past. And I think we're seeing a lot more of it now, which I think is also helping raise the scene.
100%.
And I mean, it's all over in the culinary scene. So
well, if nothing
it's
else,
really beautiful
it's
to
raising
see.
awareness. So it's like, I'm doing my own thing. Like I have my own food preferences. I go to an event like MOKAO, and all of a sudden I'm introduced to 6 new chefs that I've never heard of, and I'm like, oh, like I like their food. Like maybe I should go try that restaurant and just diversifying your palate and exploring more. So.
And it's also you're supporting small businesses a lot more than if you were to just go to chain restaurants, things like that. So I mean. Things like Epicurean are beautiful events to highlight, different cultures, cuisines, foods in the city that a lot of people just don't even know exist and are
the next
20-minute drive.
The next international event is scheduled, right?
It is, yeah.
It's again, I don't know when this episode's coming out, but if it hasn't happened
yet,
we're gonna link it below.
The next Epicurean event is Women in Food.
In food,
yeah. That features actually 2 of our staff members.
Awesome.
Chef Abby Kim, who's at Bodie, as well as coming to Tinker, and when this airs, she'll be here at Tinker fully. And then our pastry chef, Chef Aisha Innes. who's one of, I think, the only black female pastry chefs in the city.
Yeah.
And does phenomenal work. Okay. I'm African American myself, and so down south cooking is kind of where I've kind of come from, right? In sense of what is served at home. I'm a big picky eater, okay? And when it comes to desserts, I'm very, very picky. I don't like things too sweet or anything. Listen, I eat everything that Aisha puts up, okay? She's got a pound cake on our menu right now. It's phenomenal. Yeah. But I think it's the local ingredients, too, that really elevates everything that we have. And as we talk about being a picky eater, right? And being able to diversify your palate via these events and the community of being in such. I'm a chicken. I always say it all the time. Chicken fingers and fries and ranch, and none of it can touch. Okay, I want it all separated on the plate. Working with Tyler though and the team here at Tinker, I have learned to love trying new things, pushing past the mental to put it, into my stomach. But also, Tyler has shown me multiple times how fresh ingredients are something that I haven't necessarily tasted.
Right.
Okay. My mom's going to see this podcast and yell, okay, because she's like, holy crap, you came from the farm, right? But I think as an adult, I just didn't make those choices, right? Yeah. And I think with us here at Tinker Street, and going back to the accessibility piece of it too, I think sometimes being a small business and being where we are here in the neighborhood, sometimes people don't know if we're approachable. Right. Or if it's the cuisine that they're going to want, right?
Well, this is, again, I think we talked about a couple of things, and I want to get back on. I want to go towards the local conversation of ingredients and how these things pair well, because I mean, I can't not. It's like I can feel the book looking at me. they have a flavor Bible. It's right there. But I think the other thing about the problem, the plague of some of these chain restaurants too, is that you get a certain palate that you're accepting. Like I'm okay with chicken fingers and this and anything chicken finger adjacent.
There it is.
But then there's ways, because if I'm going to go out to dinner this one time, I don't want to not like the food, and I don't know anything about that. So about approachability and things like that is like the cool thing about local restaurants like this is that they don't exist if they suck, if we're being real for a minute. Like if the food was terrible, if the food was trash, it wouldn't be here. This place has been here a while. Tyler's been here since 2016.
You wouldn't be seeing Taylor at all these events.
You wouldn't be seeing this. You wouldn't be seeing the articles in the newspaper. You wouldn't be seeing all of these things if this place sucks. So this is one of those things where if that's your worry about taking a leap of not having it hit the palate that you're after, like these places exist for a reason. Chances are you'll probably like it. And then to your like going on the local part and getting to the local ingredients, I think you're not alone in the fact that you your mom might be mad a little bit about saying you didn't have fresh ingredients growing up, but we live in a country where food is made to be shelf stable and last really long, and unfortunately the takeaway of that is sometimes freshness and eating things as they're ready to be eaten, and it is a game changer. Even if this is what we talk about gardening and your cool ass tattoo, all of these these things, show it off because that thing's dope. All the herbs. He's got dry herbs on his arm. But I mean, if you grow rosemary in your backyard and you pop a sprig off and put it in there with your steak while it's cooking, it is a game changer. And it's because it's fresh, and it's because
almost
it's
too
local.
much flavor if you're used to the canned stuff.
Exactly.
That's gone bad for 6 months.
So a lot of exactly. So a lot of why your palate is the way your palate might have been along the way is because you were only exposed to those things. So go try these places. You won't be disappointed. Even the crappiest of the best restaurants have got some good food. So so let's talk a little bit about local and what does that mean to Tinker Street, and how far do you guys really take that, because it's a bit of a step further than what maybe most might be thinking.
Well, I would say everything that we try to get is regional. For me, regional is local. So some of our proteins come from Kentucky, things like that, where we blind taste test everybody. We all as a collective in the back. To me, everybody's palate's different. We all need to be on the same page. We all need to agree on something. So whether that's menu item, anything like that, we make that decision. But then I've been blessed to have had multiple mentors that have shown me, farmers, how to cook with farm produce, what is seasonal. I think eating seasonally is very important. And so, we work with, I would say, probably about 15 different farmers, purveyors, things like that in the spring, summer, fall months. and it could be more than that as well. So it's very important because I mean a lot of things like in the summertime, we're just dicing things and for salads making vinaigrettes and serving things raw, and so a lot of people, they can buy these things at farmers markets and support the farmers still, and make them at home. I mean, you need a blender or even just a whisk and a bowl.
And I love that we're bringing it back to the cooking part because I think that's the part of it, especially when I know there's a hell of a lot more to your beet salad than just chopping up raw vegetables. But to your point, some of these flavors of what grows together goes together, and if you can get it at the local farmers market, how far you can get with that palate. And sometimes what I like about going as somebody who fancies myself as loving cooking, and I wouldn't call myself a chef or a cook, even for that matter. But like, you go to a restaurant and it adds a level of inspiration for what I can do at home.
Yes.
So like, honestly, this is so fucking lame, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So I have gotten to the point where since I moved to Texas, I don't have Cafe Patachou anymore, which is a sad day for me. But I've kind of fallen in love with their arugula salad. They pair with their omelet. Yeah. It's really just refreshing, and I just love arugula. And so it's like I wouldn't have and now almost daily with my eggs and usually it's just like my eggs, and then I do an arugula salad with it because I went to a restaurant one time and liked something. Yeah. So and now I would never have bought arugula from a grocery store or a farmer's market before. Wouldn't even know what to look like what for. Right. And now I've gotten into tasting different arugula places to find the kind, which one I want to buy because the level of pepperiness that I want.
Is different. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But it doesn't happen if you don't go experience these things. So I think what's super cool about what you just said is you're going to show somebody something that is approachable for home.
Yeah. Well, and I mean. There's a lot of times where we have new cooks and people come in and new ingredients and items that come in, and I'm like, hey, try this. Eat it raw. I mean, Jourdan tells a story about I walked up to him and gave him a raw Brussels sprout. And he was like, no. And then he was like, oh, this is actually not that bad.
It was good. It was good. I've never tasted a Brussels sprout that tastes that great. Now
probably from just around the corner.
Truly. Right at Full Farms,
Yeah, I mean, we have asparagus, farmed asparagus that we get in the springtime. You can eat it raw. You don't really have to cook it much. So things like that, and showing people those ingredients and those flavors, it kind of blows their minds, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
I think what blew my mind learning about the way that we worked with farmers was, how do I get those ingredients? Tyler's like, well, do you go to the farmer's market? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, these are the same farmers. Some of them actually used us as a route as well to drop off stuff in between the market, before the market, after the market. So learning more about the ecosystem as well of it made it more approachable to me, because it's like, oh, these are the same ingredients that Tyler's cooking with at the restaurant. Like you said, I can cook with these at home as well.
And so much of the stigma and the things that people are fighting off when you're getting into cooking is almost unlearning this really. And again, I talk about it almost every show I'm on about we have this amazing problem in the United States, which is that everyone is pretty well fed. Not that there aren't food deserts, there aren't issues, but I'm saying for the most part, our food system is made so that we can feed the masses.
It's convenient.
And it's convenient. So we forget how we've overcomplicated getting asparagus.
Sure.
There's a farmer that grows it. Right. You go buy it from the guy on Saturdays. It's no more complex than that. No. But again, we just assume I can't go find this farm fresh asparagus. But to your point, it's it's right there. You just got to but it's about almost our re-education.
It is.
Yeah. Well, eating seasonally,
and then that is another one.
Is huge.
Yes.
And that's I think that's something that I'm really trying to understand and figure out how to get out there to more people, because I mean we do have some customers now that come in that we've put in a tomato on a burger. It's not tomato season, and the customer's like,
where'd you get that?
Yeah, that had no flavor. Why'd you get that? And then I was like, oh, they're right. No more tomatoes on burgers if we're not in season.
Right.
I mean, the clientele that we have here, we're teaching, but it's to get the whole state kind of involved to do that too. It's really going to help grow, I think, locally as far as farmers, everything like that.
And even I always like to liken this too. When you go to the grocery store and there's an organic section, look, if you can't financially afford organic, that's fine. But maybe go look at what's on the organic side and then see if you can find it somewhere else if they're not going to buy the organic stuff. Because chances are, if it's not truly organic, if they don't have a farmer's section of that, if it's not there, it means it's probably not in season, right?
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
because sometimes it's hard to tell, like because it's so readily available. When is tomato season? Like the average bear does not know the answer to that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's one of those. Not yet.
Not yet.
But like,
Right.
but
this year's been a little different.
But those are the things I
Maybe
think
when this episode comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tomato season, I don't know.
exactly.
episode comes out, we're gonna have like start looking into that, and, you know, and do a little of that research and finding there, and then, man, like I think that's it's a good take of like how to like you know, teach your palate of like when you're gonna do those sorts of things, because I mean, for those there's probably vegetables that somebody loves to have on the salad every single time, and so that's a change of that. But what you might find is that there's something that's in season right now that you've never tried, and if you try it in season, it's probably really good.
Yeah.
It's
it's
very
definitely gonna
similar
be better.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's similar too to what you'd want in there. So
Right.
you know,
I would say if you're having trouble like figuring out when to eat stuff, just go to the farmer's market.
yeah.
If it's at the farmer's market, it's in season.
It's in season.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you something from last 2 months ago.
No,
So-
and they're all very friendly, and
Just
they
ask.
all just want to say hi, ask,
Yeah.
strike up a conversation. They're
talk
humans
to
just
them.
like
I would
us,
say like
you know?
most of the people at the farmers markets, I mean, they're businesses. They don't care if you buy their stuff on that Saturday or if you call them and say, hey, can I swing by and buy XYZ
Right.
on a Thursday afternoon?
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know how to cook oxtail at first.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Met a gentleman at the Broad Ripple Farmers Market 2 years ago, and selling out the van, you know, and it was awesome. He was just telling me
Sell
you can do it
oxtail out of a van?
Yeah. Right. You know, set up with the tent in
Sounds
the van.
sketchy, but awesome.
Right. Yeah, farmers market. You know, farmers market. So, but he shared with me a recipe that he had just found online. And I mean, I've never tried them again, but I made the best oxtail I've ever eaten. Okay. And
Caitlin Green, right? She had the oxtail.
She's a huge fan.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just, you know, those, I think the approachability as well of like understanding how I can kind of teach myself these things, like that grocery store trick is a wonderful one. That's a great takeaway.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing too is like educating the future, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my niece and nephew
Talk to kids
only
about it.
love fresh ingredients, right? And I grew up not eating cereal, couldn't eat McDonald's, and that's why I chose, you know, poor choices as an adult, right? Because now I'm free, I can eat Mickey D's,
Do whatever I
right?
want.
Adult money.
Yeah. And so
That's why mom's gonna be mad.
that is, that is. So, but I think that, you know, being able to educate the future about how you can cook, how you can become a chef in your own space, right? And like you said, I'm not a cook, I'm not a chef, right? But I enjoy cooking. I think that's a lot of people, and sometimes they're afraid. Tyler's working with the Junior Chefs Academy here in Indy to actually teach the future as well. And I think what's really cool about it is that they're preparing them to compete in the World Food Championships with Indiana ingredients.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
Talk
it's
about that
really
real quick.
awesome.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
So I just recently started getting into it. So Yusuf has been a part of it. I want to say for a couple years. Chef Ross, he's also been a part of it. It's through Paramount Schools, and I joined this year, and so did I believe Chef Colin Hilton. So he won the World Food Championships this past year. So I think that's really good inspiration too for the
I'd say
kids.
so.
So they get to come up with the item that they want to make, and then we try to just see, okay, we try to elevate it a little bit more, and then what we've done is made sure that dish stays to its core, like from the kid, and then we help them practice to get it done in 90 minutes. So we have gnocchis being made, arancinis, stuffed peppers, and then like tamales, like a deconstructed tamale. So it's pretty inspiring to see 12 to 14-year-olds being
That's
able to
super
do
cool.
this and come up with these things. It reminds me of like when I was a kid. My mom would kind of let me once a week, in the budget, make whatever I would want. But
Shout out Tam.
yeah, but you know, it's just really cool to see that there's kids like that, and even if they don't choose this as a career path, like they can still take this with
It's a
them
life
and
skill. For like that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like going back to like kind of a couple things you hit on there that I'm really excited to talk to you guys about, because you're in a restaurant, you have to cook things quickly and for masses. And then you guys, I mean, the dinner on the diamond, like just such a cool thing. And in my head, it's like I feel like it feels harder because like the kitchen's further away from the tables, but it's probably, I don't know if it's the same or not, but being able to like understand how to cook something for a large group of people that's
Yeah.
better than burgers, like, or you know, better than your average. We're doing hot dogs and burgers because it's a cookout. Like you can go
Right.
a little beyond that, but Talk a little bit about like, I guess, like how do you make, like if you're going to take any, because I mean, a restaurant really kind of takes, I want to make this dish. And then you guys kind of figure out or engineer how to make that dish for the evening, right? So how does that process work? Because I think there's a lot of correlation in there, how you can set yourself up for success to make something that might be better than just, burgers and dogs.
Yeah. Well, first it starts with what's available. And then after that, we come up with an idea. We have a wonderful staff here at Tinker Street. Multiple people have come up with multiple menu items, things like that. And I have them kind of have some ideas. I have some ideas. And then we put up a dish. We agree on it. Then after that, it's like, okay, how are we going to prep this? Mm-hmm. How are we going to make sure it gets out in the time frame, everything else? And then is it feasible to continue to do it week after week and day after day, mm-hmm. day after day? For the most part, we find that, we can do it. We make sure everything gets prepped on time.
So I think that's the big one that I think people like the mystery is in the preparation. And I feel like that's the part of it that, like, the reason why you can call something so quickly, or someone can write a ticket, bring it back to you, and they can be ready in a timely manner, is because of the preparation. I think that's like one of the things that most home cooks don't do or take for granted.
So planning, the prepping.
So going back to like early episodes of like our gear episodes, and we talked about the metal bowls, and it's like been a huge game changer for me is these sets of just being able to have everything, to have all these bowls, because then you can prep everything so that then you can make it in and when you need it. At that time,
it's here instead of in the fridge.
Right, instead of exactly, just having things kind of prepped. Not only does that mean cut up and ready, but also positioned so that you can think through how you're going to do all of this for that many people.
Yeah.
So So that's at that part's, I think, of the big. That's what I was hoping you were going to go with, like that preparation of it, and then, I think one of the other things too that like you guys do, I think anyway, but maybe we can talk about this, is that you test it, like you make it, and then
you have everyone sample it.
And then you find out like, okay, so this is feasible. Kind of going back to like, yes, this is something we can do at scale. It is feasible and is ready to go. I think that's also another good home tip is like if you have a big event that you're cooking for your family. If you have a cookout coming up, graduation party season, but for high school's already come and gone. But like, I don't know when this will air either. But like colleges and stuff like that. So. But like if you're going to entertain a bunch, like maybe cook it the week before, just one run through, then you get a better sense of how long that actually took, to see if it is feasible for your event.
You can do that,
just kind of think more like a
organization and the preparation of it, really. As long as the flavors and everything are there, for the most part, we're blessed that here, like they are there. We got very talented people here, but just trying things out and knowing that way you're not going into it blind. It makes a whole lot of difference.
It's huge. It's huge.
I think something that's kind of might be our secret sauce, so punch me under the table if I'm telling too much, but when I first started working with the back of house team, as I kind of moved through the ranks here at Tinker, couldn't figure out how they all knew how to make the ingredients off of just a single prep sheet. And then chef told me that they do things to taste. And so each of our chefs actually know what the dish is also supposed to taste like at a foundational ingredient level. And I think to me that was kind of from the outside of the kitchen, I was like, whoa, that's really cool, which then explains how in your mind all these ingredients can kind of go together. So I think Tyler's doing a great job of educating our team and teaching our team actually how to do that as well.
That's cool,
we have base recipes, but at the same time, a recipe may call for 12 cloves of garlic. Cloves of garlic are not all the same size.
Not the same size, not the same.
You may have 2 jalapenos in a ingredient, or in a recipe, and the spice level's different depending on the year, depending on when it was picked. Things like that. So as long as the taste is there, and you can emulate and replicate that, then I think it's probably maybe our secret, I guess.
No, but it goes back to like educating yourself on how these things go together. And they need to pay me a royalty at this point. But like the flavor Bible, like understand how things work together. It gives you such a leg up on just making sure that you can dial that taste in and replicate something and over again. I've this is a new thing that's happened since Texas. I actually write things down now.
Hey,
this is
okay.
I have a
Okay.
notebook in the kitchen that so
That's
when
huge.
I make stuff, and and also from Chef Allen, again, I can't also do an episode and not talk about him. I weigh everything out in grams because everything
Yeah.
Also
can
huge.
convert to a gram.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's so like I've gotten used to actually doing that now and actually writing my stuff down because I've just one too many times I've made something that someone was like, oh my God, this was awesome. You should do that again.
not
I'm like,
do it again.
I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
But also, like you said, like every ingredient is different. Like jalapenos aren't what they used to be.
Right.
It's just-
Right,
they're
yeah.
just not as spicy.
not,
but
yeah.
like Andy can grow jalapeno in his garden. Even like before he moved to Texas, like his jalapenos are going to be different than my jalapenos. Like they're both Indiana jalapenos. They're both grown at the same time, but like for whatever reason, like they're not the same.
Yeah.
Right.
So just understanding the fact that things aren't identical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think another secret to our sauce too is that there's a lot of people that I've worked with since 2018, 2019. So we're all kind of on the same page on that too, the core group
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah.
that helps.
I think something that I will shout out our ownership, Tom Main, on as well is that we're not, Tyler's Food's incredible and Tyler's an incredible chef, but we're not a chef-driven restaurant. We're hospitality-driven. It's really about the experience coming in here, which I think actually adds a lot more pressure to Tyler too, and the entire team, because we're doing our best to make sure that the experience is what you're looking for. And as you deal with a customer like myself that maybe isn't necessarily so diverse in palate, right? I'll ask, for things to be removed, right? Or I don't like things too saucy, so I'll be like, put that on the side, right? This is my first food and beverage job as an adult. So I came from corporate comms background. I was on TV before this. And so I always have been on the diner guest side, have never actually been in the kitchen in terms of how things worked. Parents own a catering company, but would always just see the prep and then it would just go down and then we'd be done. It's cleanup time. So watching how tables turn, as well as like the flavors and the experience kind of coming into one, it creates a lot of like pressure, I think, on the team to just get it right each time, right? But also to drive home that experience piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, I liken a lot of this, the restaurant, the decent, I can, this is not chains excluded here, but like, the thing, like this same thing with you guys and Rockstars, man. Like they have to go out and play the same song every night, but it's the first time someone's heard you play that song.
Yep.
And like for you guys, this is every night is someone's
yeah.
first time at Tinker. And that and to know that's why it's important to know how to put a dish together based on taste, and that's why it's it's why all these things stack up, and it's one of those things where I think that's where when people when restaurants start to fall is because it stops being about like the user's experience and like the dining experience versus the food could be great, but like if it sucks to eat there, man. Then
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
to me, that's what's so beautiful about Tinker Street.
Yeah.
What kind of is different about Tinker is it is an overall experience. I mean, when you come in, it is small. I mean, it gets loud, it gets hot. I mean, it's busy, it's bustling, it's quaint. But then, we try to provide that every night, and
Yeah. Right.
that's what's different.
I mean, you're not hiding anything in the
It's
kitchen.
right- it's right there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
right there. Yeah. Like we can see what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Which is super cool. I love it.
We've only got a tiny freezer as well. Everything is in our walk-in as well with fresh ingredients. And I think working in such a small space with so many people and so many hands to make the night happen, I think really speaks to just kind of how happy we all are to also be here.
Right.
And for me, coming into food and beverage from outside, food was always a way to like cheer up the staff or bring everybody together. We're gonna have this wonderful meal from Tinker Street.
it's your
Catering.
word. It's your word.
Right?
Confidentiality.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that the ability to do that each and every night, but also Tyler feeds our staff every day at 4:00 for a family meal. There's a big piece of security at a job when you know that they're going to feed you every day. Something that I really was empowered by when signing on here at Tinker was they told me, hey, if you're free around 4:00 today and want to have lunch here with us, you're more than welcome. And I was like, oh, I work today? And they said, oh, no. Any day at
That's beautiful.
4:00, we serve family meal. So come on in. And I have a lot of food allergies, okay, which also makes me picky for that reason. But each and every time, Tyler and the team have catered to my food allergies.
That's cool.
Which has also allowed me to try a lot of different things, to the point where Tyler will put together a shrimp dish, let's say for an event. He'll break it down and allow me to try every single ingredient together except for the shrimp. So that way I also get to experience it too.
That's
That's
super
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, you mentioned like customers coming in being a little bit picky, and is that tough to balance, like customers' preferences with like what the dish, quote unquote, should be? Or like, do you feel like you dance around that?
Yes and no. I would say for the most part, I'm able to. We all are able to figure out a way to accommodate those allergies and things like that. So now when it's garlic, gluten, dairy, I mean, a lot of our food has garlic and onions in it. We try as best as we can, but we might have to go off menu. But special dinners, things like that, chef's tables. No, we're very accommodating for
There's
a lot
a
of
chef
people.
I saw online, and he's like, "Don't come in here with your preferences and your pickiness." And he's like, allergies are one thing, but if you just don't like the taste of one thing, like, don't tell me how to run my kitchen. Like, I'm going to do what I do. And like, I don't see that here. I don't see that just in Indianapolis. Like, I haven't met those chefs yet that are just that, like, this is my food. You're going to eat what I put on your plate. Like, you guys are all you're into hospitality. Like, you're here serving the people.
Absolutely. And I mean, our kitchen welcomes that feedback, right? In terms of just like, hey, I don't really like this as well. Chef asked for that to be put on the ticket. You know what I mean? So that way he knows as well too. So there are
like
ways.
the tomatoes. Like,
exactly.
I'm sure you guys appreciate when people give you feedback. But
We love feedback. Chef loves feedback.
maybe
for
not
sure.
all the feedback.
and I think it's all.
do, yeah.
We're open
Good,
7 days a
bad,
week.
whatever,
So it's like we're gonna hit the mark a lot of the times. Okay, I pride the team on that. But
But
there's
you can't.
times where
It's
we're
hard to
gonna miss it.
innovate if you're not taking chances and trying things, and that's where, a lot of times those misses in innovation. That's great. It furthers innovation. It furthers how you make that thing palatable for somebody else. And again, I think that like in your example of like chefs that are just like, you're going to eat this, and that's what, right? Because that's what I mean. Because I'm the brilliant one here. I think that makes for good TV. And those, and again, that in itself is an experience that someone might have to seek after, but it's also not aligned with the Hoosier hospitalities of things.
Right.
And so I think that's why we don't see a lot of that here, even in some of our finer dining restaurants and like the cooler, like well-known great restaurants. It's just not our style to not have it be.
Well, and it's more of a
Personal.
challenge for, at least the way I look at it, the way some of the team members look at it. It's more of a challenge because it's like, oh, cool, we can make that.
Yeah. How do I make this
yeah.
and taking their pine nut allergy?
Right. We can
How do we take
make
the shrimp
this-
out and still make it awesome?
Yeah, we
Exactly.
can make this scallop, ceviche or crudo or aguachile like with kohlrabi instead and make it look and seem similar and
And have it
same
be, yeah.
thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a
That's
cool little
beautiful.
challenge. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think one little niche that we found that we started to quantify, I'd say last week, is the way that we are collaborating with food and art. We're surrounded by artwork right now from Johnny McKee of the Harrison Center and some of his art. A piece that's brand new right behind us here. The piece that was there before just sold. So it's really cool. I won't say it's the first piece of artwork that we've sold, but definitely the first one since I've been here, which was really cool and empowering. But we've now worked with MOKAO. We're working with the Stutz Artist Board as well to kind of like bring food and art to the experience. And I think bringing local art together on the physical canvas and bringing chefs' art together on the plate is kind of a experience that a lot of people haven't necessarily experienced here in Indiana. We just did Art Dish with the Harrison Center, and Chef put together a phenomenal menu, but he gets inspired by what it is, where we have these clouds behind us, and we did Art Dish with Johnny McKee. He did a cognac cotton candy that looked like a cloud wrapped around.
Wrapped around a foie gras torchon.
Word.
It was like on a popsicle, it's just kind of floating there, cotton
that
candy
sounds
around it.
We'll send Chris a picture so
yeah.
he can post it
Yeah.
on here too.
It's cool. Nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's super cool. Well, with our last few minutes here, do you guys want to touch? I mean, you've already done an awesome job, like talking about the farmers market, keeping things fresh. I know in our early conversations, you guys talked about just keeping it simple.
Yes.
You want to talk to like the home chef and just like how do we keep things simple and not overcomplicate things, but still make it awesome and
Yeah, I mean, I think a great dish to think of, especially coming into the summer months. Don't know when this is going to air again, but if you can get tomatoes, cucumbers, red onions, you can easily make a panzanella salad with just olive oil. Those are all raw. You dice them up, olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice, some herbs, and then that with some bread is perfect. So, I mean, things like that where, I mean, yes, farm ingredients may be a little bit pricier, but you don't really have to do much to them to really manipulate the flavors of it. It's going to be way healthier and better for you also.
Yeah.
Things like that. I mean, just simple like that is... Yeah, very easy.
Yeah, and I think it's real hard, especially like, I mean, there's all sorts of seasonings and things like that out there that makes it real fun and exciting to like maybe try these other things, but like you go salt, pepper, and some oil go a long way.
Yeah. I've had a lot of people ask.
Just fresh.
Right.
Yes.
Local.
Yeah.
Yes.
That and even like with like garlic and stuff too, like, you know, garlic powder is really easy to grab.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Depending on what you're making, like maybe you don't need the powder form, maybe you just need some garlic, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now, I won't say we can give away all the prep, but Chef is always down to come to the table and talk about things. We have what I call some of our super fans that come to every event because they know Tyler's going off menu, and we'll ask him for ingredients, and Tyler will send quart containers home with just, you know, ingredients with individuals. I don't know if we're allowed to do that, so don't say that. but just, you know, so that they can attempt to do it at home. And I think what's really cool is it then drives people back to us and be like, Tyler, I tried this, and he's like, oh, you might want to turn down the heat, or you want to add a little bit of this, or maybe try this. And so, you know, come and ask us as well too. Okay, Tyler and myself are here all the time, but our sous chef is here if Tyler's not. So please, our team would love to talk to you about what's happening. We do handmade pasta here too with Chef Mascardini, and so all of our pasta is fresh and handmade in our very small but mighty space. And so even those kinds of things too, where it's something that you feel like isn't approachable at home, come talk to us. We'd love to show you kind of how we're getting down. And our space is probably smaller than your kitchen.
Probably, for sure.
Why I love that. Like, it seems like everyone we talk to, especially here in Indy, it's like they're just against gatekeeping. Like, they don't care. Like, hey, like, food is food. Like, just enjoy it, have fun. It's like here to give tips and tricks, and like you're not.
Well, I think it goes back to what you said earlier too. Is like people come here for the experience. The food's a big part of the experience, but it's for the experience of it all, and kind of what you're describing is part of that experience as well too. And there is a mindset, you know, that the abundance theory, right? That there's enough for everyone. You're teaching all these guys that you could have easily viewed the junior chefs as future competition, or it can be that we're moving this whole thing forward together. You know, and that's a mindset thing that I think is really special to Indiana. It sounds like to this the whole, like, not just Tinker Street, but like the community at large here. So, you know, be brave and ask a question. You know, like, I mean, even at Strangebird, I mean, we hung out afterwards. Like, it was such a fun experience, and like everyone there was super friendly and awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Rachel, Chef Rachel, and Samir, just like Mama Bird, taking everyone under their wing, making sure they're all happy. And
Truly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like we really create and like come up with new things. I mean, food, you're learning things every day from different countries, cultures, cuisines, and like, to think that you came up with something, there's probably an origin of that thing or that dish. So it's kind of like, to me, like, and I'm competitive, but at the same time, let's compete against each other and also have fun doing it, you know, and raise it together. It's not me against you. I think it's us as a whole coming up. But that's how I see it.
It's a good mindset.
Yes.
It's still got your spin on it. Like, even though it originated somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you didn't do that.
You have a little touch there, but you know, also understanding and knowing that, I think, is pretty big, and I think a lot of the chefs here do. So it's cool.
Awesome. Well, where can people find more of you guys? I mean, obviously, we're sitting in your restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tyler and I basically live here. We're open 7 days a week. We open at 5 o'clock each day, but Tyler and I are pretty much here. But you can follow us at Tinker Street Indy. You can follow me at King Not King, KXNG Not KING, and that's just from back in my streaming days. I'm since married, and I'm living a watch life now, so shout out to my wife. She's wonderful. But, you know, really, we're here at Tinker, and I think that even on our off days, today's our our off day as we're recording, but yesterday was our off day and we were at the Noble Golf Classic. Tyler and I really spend a lot of our time surrounding what we believe in this restaurant, but for ourselves. So please catch us out in the community and come by and see us at the restaurant. If I'm not here, Sarah's here, who's our assistant operations manager, and she's phenomenal. We would love to host you, okay? And anybody that's out there watching and wants to collaborate, we would love to collaborate as well.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome, man.
I'm just gonna, rebuttal on that. I don't want to give out my personal information. But yeah, if I'm not here, Tucker Drummond is here. He's chef de cuisine here, and yeah, I mean, we're always out in the community and always,
You guys are out in the community.
Yeah, you guys are
Like, so we don't know exactly when this is airing, but like just pay attention to socials, for upcoming events.
Yeah.
And, like I said, the dinner on the Diamond looked stunning. Like it just looked super cool.
It's awesome.
And shout out to the
you.
Indians Victory Field.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. Almost 100 people out there on the Diamond.
Yes.
Little secret behind that, there was no running water. We had to bring our own water. We built out basically prep and kitchen stations inside of each dugout.
Oh, man.
We brought out a team. They supported it and brought out a team as well. And I mean, the collaboration of both was insane.
It's
And I
beautiful.
mean, a lot of times we can't quantify how well an event has done, but I probably have seen each and every one of those guests at least once in the restaurant since being there.
That's awesome.
So for us as an experience-based space, I think that that's something that, really kind of shows and allows us to applaud.
Yeah.
You know who we didn't talk about on this podcast, though, that's really dope that we have? Y'all know we have bees?
Oh yeah.
We have bees on
Like
property.
here? There's
We have
bees there?
bees. They're
Yeah, we got
award-winning bees.
Yeah.
They're out back. Okay,
They're out
we'll take a
back, yeah.
picture. Okay. Evans Honey is our beekeeper. Him and his brother own a beekeeping company. African American young man. His brother's in Seattle doing the same thing. Okay,
That's cool.
so they have like coast to coast business together, which is really
Good.
dope. He's just installed a pollen collector, so chef's going to be working with some of the pollen. We've got to collect it, clean it, and that sort of thing too. But our bees won second place in the Indiana State Fair last year for their honey.
Good job, bees.
Yeah. So we utilize some of the honey in our, of course, our dishes and things. But it's really cool to be a part of, being more sustainable. in
Can't
that
be
way,
more
too.
local than that.
Yeah.
It's literally
Shout out to
on.
bees.
Like 20
job,
feet away.
bees.
Yep, right there.
Yeah. So
It's awesome.
it's pretty cool. We always got to shout out the bees. They're part of the team.
Yeah.
Good job,
They
bees.
definitely are.
Yes. What are you guys excited for? Like, let's assume this episode comes out tomorrow.
Sure.
Are there any upcoming events or private things you guys are doing that are just like really?
Yeah, so we're gonna have a Junior Chefs Academy dinner here, July 13th. So there should be about 4 other chefs that are gonna create dishes, and some of the students are also gonna create an amuse-bouche for everybody. We're gonna do. Let's see, we have a lot of events. though.
Yeah, I would
mean,
say
sorry.
also like Broad Ripple Farmers Market fundraising
Yeah.
dinner that's happening at
There's
Fulham
that one.
Farms this weekend on Sunday. Tyler's partnering up with Chef Tyler Harold, who is one of his previous mentors,
Yep.
and connected him to farms and things too. And so it's going to be really cool out there, 100 different farmers and that sort of thing. We're excited to work with more farmers. I think that's something when I first started, and honestly just working with Tyler in general, when I first started working here, Tyler was not down to come to a table and talk to people. He was very nervous and shy, and I'm like, holy crap, you're making great stuff, brother. Why don't you come out here and be like, this is mine. This is why I like it. And he would give me feedback as a server, SA, host, to go back and tell the table. And I was like, chef, you would do so much better, and using, this is my first
the
serving
secrets.
job, I need you. He started to come to tables, and then we would do events, and he would only just talk about the menu, wouldn't really give the Tyler personality. And I'd say over the last year and a half, Tyler's become really a superstar in front of the camera, on the microphone, but also really like owning his space here. He comes to the table, he talks to people, but really like creates community in that sense too. So really the embodiment of getting the word out here about what we're doing. I've worked in a lot of different spaces, mostly nonprofit, that was doing so much good, right? But I feel like being here each day, I get to make so many people's day. And even yesterday, we were out at the golf course. I'll shout out Skip. He reached out to me via LinkedIn like, hey, I'm going to be in the restaurant tonight at 6. Well, Tyler and I were in 98-degree heat for about 8 hours yesterday under a tent at the second hole at Sagamore Golf Club. And
fun.
yeah, so by the time we got back here and unloaded, we were both wiped. And so I was able to tell the team that Skip was coming in, and the team knows Skip as well. And so made that connection at dinner on the Diamond and able to just give him a phenomenal experience. This morning when I woke up out of my heat-driven coma, my my wife's yelling at me about my sunburn, and I'm reading a message from Skip about how amazing the hospitality was here at Tinker. And I think for me, it's like those kinds of things that each day I get to wake up and make somebody's day via food, right? Also coming to work and I get fed. I used to have to find a lunch or a meal, you know, so it's amazing. So that's what I'm excited for, truly, just being out here and doing more.
And I would also say taking it to the streets probably later in the year will happen. So excited for that. So
nice.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Are we going to see you at the World Food Championship?
probably. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know for sure.
Keep
but
your eyes.
We'll see.
I'm gonna say right now we're bringing 3 different teams to World Food Championships.
we're
Hopefully
gonna
this
do
year
that,
we're gonna
yeah.
try to compete in some of the pre-qualifiers. Chef's excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, and if
Definitely.
not, I'll definitely will probably be there with the Junior Chefs Academy.
Right.
Okay.
Some of the kids. So, yeah, but I'm definitely
You'll
excited. Yeah, but like last year we were in it, and I mean our pasta chef, like we won the golden ticket, and I gave it to him, and I was like, "You're leading this." So hopefully it's more of that, where just team focused, and I'll be there to help and things like that. But yeah,
It's awesome, man. Super cool. Super pumped.
What's next for you all? What?
yeah.
Yeah, Chris, what's next with us?
That's a good question. Man, we're just trucking. Like I've said it before, but we just love like meeting people like you. Just learning cool tips and tricks, and just diving into the food scene.
Part of what we're trying to do too is make this more accessible to people. And I think one of the things that we can do to help people who want to cook better in their home kitchens or are looking at doing this is just showing how approachable some of these maybe these places that you're like, there's no way they're going to talk to us. But ultimately or there's no way that person's going to want to hear this, or they must be some sort of freak that just sits there and smells vegetables all day long or whatever like that. Right? No, it's these are normal humans that come from normal walks of life that have gotten really good at a thing, and they're passionate and want to talk about those things too. So, I mean, I think I'm excited to see where this show continues to go. Chris has been awesome at keeping the ball rolling for everybody. Our whole team has had a whole change of lifestyle in the last year. But again, I'm just excited for anybody else who wants to come on the show too. So again, as you guys hear people, or if you think of anybody hey, you guys should really talk to the guys at Okayest Cook. Any of those type of hookups, keep those.
Sure.
I will.
Keep those going. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely.
So.
And I mean, we want to be that resource for you all as well too.
Appreciate that.
So I definitely, Tyler and myself for sure, speaking on behalf of Tyler, we will pass the word around. Okay, we have already done so. We've been so excited to be on the podcast, but since the moment of us initially meeting at MOKAO in that way, in that intimate way, it was just so incredible that Chris, you're so freaking talented, and I was only your fan via the podcast, not necessarily your still photos, but also just the way that you interact with human beings was just incredible. And I mean, you all as a duo is phenomenal.
Thank you for that.
Really good. And I mean, being a fan of the show prior to being on, I mean, it was just really cool how you all. Chefs aren't always willing to talk, okay? And I watched several people on the show struggle through it, but power through because you all are down for what you're down for. And I think that truly is what is helping us get the word out there too. So we're super excited to partner, okay? And definitely any ways that we can help, we're down.
Yeah, honestly, just whatever we can do to amp the food scene. Whether that's in your kitchen at home, whether that's traveling to Indy, if you're an Indy local, just come to these cool new spots.
Absolutely.
Come to Tinker if you've never been here. Ask for Tyler to come to your table.
Yeah.
There you go.
Make him come out and talk to you.
Just go to cool events.
Absolutely.
It's they're not the cheapest thing ever sometimes, but it's such an amazing I can't explain how cool MOKAO was. Just to be there with all these rad individuals and just beautiful art in a stunning space. A dinner on the Diamond looked just as cool, and you've done 20 other events between those two. Several. So your homework.
Yeah.
Go someplace new. Go to a cool
Go to
event.
the farmer's market. Talk to a farmer this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're there, ask them one question.
Absolutely.
If you're not sure what a thing is, ask them what it is and what it goes in. For
sure.
They'll tell you.
For sure.
That's that was my takeaway.
I like it.
Talk to farmers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Talk to everybody.
Yeah, talk to
Yes.
everybody.
Tell the chefs what you loved.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, this started because of conversation. You know what I mean? It truly did. You know, so excited. That's awesome.
Definitely appreciate you guys. We don't want to take up too much more of your time on your day off.
Cool.
Really appreciate you letting us come into your space. And again, it's stunning. I absolutely love it here. The art is beautiful.
Thank you.
The
Thank
scene
you.
is beautiful. The food is beautiful.
Thank you.
It looks beautiful and it tastes beautiful, which is a double bonus. So don't forget your homework.
Yeah.
And thank you all for having us on.
Yeah,
Our pleasure.
Anytime. We'll be back if you have us.
Oh no, we will.
yeah,
We will.
for sure.
We'd love to get you all into the kitchen. It's a tight space, but we'd
we'll do a
love
little
to
tour.
find. We'll find a way to make it happen.
Nice.
Let's go.
Okay.
So until next time.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Okay,
guys.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't want to say it on air, but I just got back from a trip to Montana, and they did a field to table event.